Hello to all the beautiful and cherished souls out there that is joining me for today's episode. I am your host, Sharona, and I am thrilled to dive into today's topic. I do hope my introduction today sets a powerful tone for today's episode, as I would like to address the fundamental nature of our reality and the potential within each of us to actually shape it. I want to highlight the importance of understanding the power of the mind and how our thoughts and beliefs influence the world around us. I want to shed some light on the mechanisms of control and manipulation that exist in our society today. I want to challenge listeners to question the status quo and to envision a more impartial and harmonious existence. I also want to emphasize the abundance of resources provided by the earth and advocate for a shift towards a sustainable and more cooperative way of living. My message today will hopefully encourage listeners to break free from the constraints of societal conditioning and reclaim their innate power as creators, as we all are creators. I know it will challenge many to recognize their interconnectedness with the world and take responsibility for co-creating a reality that reflects their true values and aspirations. Through this podcast and the episode has been, I always try to share my own knowledge and my own experiences that I have accumulated so far. And throughout my own personal journey, I've discovered the immense power of the mind and the profound impact it has on shaping our reality. So my intention with this episode is to illuminate your understanding of your own inherent power and potential to actually influence the world around you in ways that you actually may not yet realize. I aim to raise awareness of the incredible creative abilities we possess within our minds and how these manifestations materialize in our external reality. For example, consider this. Water, we can't hold water. We can put it in a cup, but we can't hold it unless we freeze it. And then it becomes ice. So you have actually turned water into a mass that you now can hold. And water needs to go through a process to turn into mass so you can hold it in your hands. And the same goes for your thoughts. You create your reality. Your thoughts is shaping your and our world. Some thoughts, they manifest quicker, and others, they need a little bit more time to go through a process before turning into mass. But your thoughts work the same as water. You are a creator, and you can create any of your thoughts into matter or mass. You just need to believe and understand who you are, because you are a creator. I do think that once you are able to see the matrix for what it really and truly is, I think that you will be able to hack it and create what you want, because you will have a deeper understanding of how it all works. The movie The Matrix has so many subliminal messages. Maybe not everyone has the eyes and the minds to see it. I know I didn't at one point. But the more you change your perception and, the more you grow and evolve from within and understand who you actually are, the more your perception of everything you see changes. Because this world is filled with agents, I would say authority followers, who are actually feeding into the reality which is showing in our world. And I do not believe that the majority of the population are aware what they are feeding into our world as the creators that we all are. I think it's crucial to recognize that we are all creators and that those in position of control, they actually understand this. And through this understanding that they have us shaping societal narratives to align with their agendas. The current state of the world, where access to basic necessities is commodified, is a result of this orchestrated mind manipulation. I don't believe that none of us are truly born into freedom. Rather, we are trapped as modern-day slaves to a society that the majority of us are actually unable to fully enjoy. We find ourselves obligated to pay for land that rightfully belongs to Earth and all its inhabitants. I think it's entirely possible for us to coexist harmoniously with our planet and thrive without causing harm. I think that this knowledge should be imparted to us from a young age and passed down through generation, teaching us how to live sustainably in alignment with all beings and the environment. Just because something been one way for generations doesn't mean it have to remain this way. A lot of the things that we have been taught and learned about our history and our past, it's not necessarily all true. But, you have to take the time to do your own research and go down the rabbit hole. And once you go down the rabbit hole, you discover a lot of things that, we've been lied to a whole lot. Things is not what we've been taught, and it's not what it seems to be. We have the capacity to live in harmony with Earth, utilizing its abundant resources without exploitation. A lot of things that is happening in the world right now with all of these large corporations capitalizing and all of the low vibrating energies and feelings that a lot of us are feeling, it's a systematic agenda behind all of this. It can be a very unpleasant truth or reality to discover. But once you discover it, you are able to actually be a part of the change of it. Depression and anxiety and all of these other negative emotions have sadly become normalized. But it doesn't have to define our reality no more. We have the power to change this. The way we currently live serves only those who profit from our suffering. But I don't want it to be this way no more. I want us to understand that we can change this. We can change this as the creator that we are. We all deserve access to food and shelter and clean water and pure air. All of these things which our planet abundantly provides. And all of these things should be free. None of us should have to pay for any of these things. Unfortunately, many of these products are systems we rely on, and it's laden with harmful chemicals and hidden agendas. And it's like subtly perpetuating a cycle of dependency and exploitation. I think it's time to question these narratives and to reclaim our sovereignty as individuals and as a collective. Imagine this. If we were taught from a young age how to be self-sufficient and to meet our own needs without relying solely on large corporations, we could support each other's growth and evolution. And as individuals, I actually believe we would thrive. And our earth would also flourish into a healthy, thriving, living entity, rather than suffering from the neglect and exploitation that we actually see today. All of these large corporations capitalizing on our dependency, ensuring that we remain reliant on their products and services. They discourage self-sufficiency and sustainability because it threatens their profits and control. While a lot of these governments may appear to hold the power, it's actually the collective that holds the power. We are the consumers of what they are selling. We are the bigger portion of the world. They are only a small percentage. We are the change that this world needs. We can't look for them for the change because we need to create it. If we would stop consuming something for a certain amount of time or stop subscribing to something of that the reality that they have created for us, there will be a big shift. Like when Corona happened, they told us everything was on lockdown. And all of these lockdowns affected us as individuals, while they were profiting on this. Imagine if we would do it the other way around. Imagine if we would tell them, or we would say, no, we're not going to go to work no more. We're going to stay away from work for a certain amount of time, or we're not going to pay taxes, or whatever it might be. This would affect them. We are the majority. We are the bosses here. And we just need to come together and do all of these things together. We are the change that we seek. We are the ones that wield the power to influence change. The agendas of the higher authorities and governments have subtly been executed over decades. But just because something has been a certain way for a long time doesn't mean it needs to continue. We are the change that we seek. We just need to realize that as individuals. Have you ever paused to ponder the question, who truly owns the earth? Who gave earth to the higher authorities or the government that said, here, now you take control and you tell people what they can and cannot do and how they can live and what they can't do and how they can't live? How can someone claim ownership over something that inherently belongs to no one and to everyone simultaneously? There is literally a systematic agenda at play here, orchestrated right before our eyes. Yet we have all been conditioned to actually accept this state of affairs as normal. Please ask yourself, how did it come to be that a small percentage of individuals possess the lion's share of the planet? And that these individuals actually can dictate what we can and cannot do, and how we can and cannot live. They dictate what is beneficial and what is harmful to us, all while actively poisoning us and preventing us from realizing our true potential. They criminalize natural remedies and plants that could potentially awaken our consciousness as individuals. As long as we remain unaware of our true essence, we will be unable to unlock the vast power and abilities inherent within us, leaving us able for them to control. We unquestionably place our trust in higher authorities without stopping to question the reality of what is actually happening around us. We attach to rules and cultural norms that have often been ingrained for generations, often without even questioning why. And many of these conventions actually doesn't align with our inner convictions or resonate with our true selves. And I think this is one of the main reasons why people, go into depressions or feel stressed and pressured, because people are not living their true selves or living what they actually are aligned with in their, inner being. When Bob Marley, said this in his song, it resonated with me so deeply, and it's the truth of our situation. And he says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. I think this encapsulates the greatest battle being waged against us: mental enslavement and manipulation. The key to liberation actually lies within us. We must come to this realization and reclaim the power of our minds. I see myself as a vessel, channeling the will of the divine. I believe that each of us is a part of the divine, interconnected with one another and with the universe itself. However, the truth has been obscured by those who seek to maintain control over us. The vision I have for a new earth is not unique to me. It is shared by many who are awakening to the reality of who we truly are. We have been living under the influence of false beliefs and darkness for far too long, accepting them as our reality. But now, as more of us are awakened to the truth, we are breaking free from these lies that have been perpetuated for centuries and decades. As Malcolm X once said, I have a dream. Well, I too have a dream and a vision, that we all understand that we are guardians of Earth. That we understand that love is not only a language of words, but a language of actions and behaviors. That we are all roots and branches of the same family tree. We are this world. An era is ending, and a new era is actually beginning. So we need to stand together as one. And it has to start with us, We must start by taking responsibility and understand that we are just as much dark as we are the light. So we can let the dark surface so it can be released, so we can be the pure light beings that we actually are and tap into our full potential and power. We live in a world of duality, and we are the only ones who can change this. Something deep within all of us as individuals in this life is actually changing. We are awakening from a long collective deep sleep. The masses are slowly waking up, and it will result in a radical shift in our world and our universe. We need to start to purge out all of these things that does no longer belong to us nor benefit us moving forward. We need to start to create with the intention and the knowing that we are the creators. We are all here on a task together. So please surrender to the process and hold firm to the knowledge of what is being born. We will meet darkness individually and as a collective, but don't be scared. Don't let the fear consume you. Stay present and tap into the light within you, because that is who you are. You are light. No matter how much or how big the darkness is, you can have the tiniest light in the darkest room, and that tiny light will light up and guide the way. And the closer you get to the light, the stronger the light will become, and eventually prevail all the darkness, as light is stronger than the darkness, just as love is stronger than hate. Open yourself up to the liberation. Free yourself as you free all others at the same time. Live with your heart open. Learn to truly love yourself, and let's love each other and be kind to one another. Let's gather communities and let the tribe grow. We are all stronger together. Understand that what you subconsciously do and feed yourself with regularly will create the world within you. This will reflect the world around and outside of you. You are a creator, so please start creating. What you feed your mind, heart, body, and soul with matters. You are a reflection of what you see around you. You must accept and admit to this, as you must let everything come to surface, no matter how hard it is, because this no longer serves you. So you can release it and liberate yourself and us as a whole. We all have a part to play in this evolution moving forward. This too shall pass. A great purge with all that is no longer serving us or are aligned with the vibrations we all have or are creating within ourselves. Please rise up to the task of the hero that takes place inside of you and trust the process. To die and be reborn is a process of evolution. Many of us has lived many lives during one lifetime. We all have to die to be able to be reborn. And the process of dying is chaotic and challenging, but there is peace even in the storm. So please face your fears. That's the only way for you to overcome them. And no one can do you anything once you have faced your fears, because nothing will be a fear no more. You will have conquered all of your fears. Nothing will scare you. I sacrifice my fears often for knowledge, and I encourage you to do the same. Be better for you so no one can penetrate your mind with things that doesn't serve you or us as a whole. We're going through a new birthing. Life is changing as we know it. As you light the light within you, others will recognize it and it will ignite the light within them. We are the ones who can manifest peace and love and light and invite the divine light to this planet and all its inhabitants. Reality is being reformed and redefined and reconstructed. So please hold firm in the process of what is being born. Don't let anything or anyone take your beliefs away, that the old ways are our ways. You have to believe in magic for magic to happen. When you gather new information, it leads to new neural patterns. Many of us are being activated in our DNA, and a reformation of our world is taking place as we speak. And the ways we know of today is changing. Chaos will turn into peace, and sorrow will turn into joy. Freedom is supposed to feel good. What the majority of the population is feeling now is not freedom. This is not freedom. We can never allow anyone anymore to take away our choice because they lie and misinform us, having us believe that we have no other choice and that this is the way, because it's not. This is not the way to live. This is so not the way. If we never go outside of the boundaries that has been set up for us, none of us will be able to see or create a change. We are one earth. I understand that grasping the concept of that we are energetic beings can be very hard for some to understand, or the majority rather, particularly if you haven't had any experience where you tap into that you actually are an energetic being. So I want to try to visualize this for you, or, trying to make it make sense in some type of way, if I can. I don't know if my listeners have seen Fantastic Fungi. If you haven't, I highly recommend you to watch it. There is something called mycelium network that happens underneath our ground. And through this mycelium network, the nature talks with one another. So trees communicate with each other. If one tree is in danger, other trees can warn it. Or if one tree is sick, they can send, they send nutrition, through the mycelium network. It's a communication network that is working underneath our ground. This mycelium network also is, in our space, in our air. So since we're energetic beings, sometimes we don't really understand how certain things work, but we know that they work. Like, for example, we know that brain waves can be measured. Or, that when you go to a doctor, they have all of these type of machineries that can measure you and check your different nutritions and values and your heart and your brain and, all of these things. We don't necessarily always understand the mechanisms of how these machines work, but we can understand the results of it when it's explained to us by a doctor or whatever. So we know today that our heart, our cardiac field, can be measured 3 feet from our body. Or we have machines that can measure it 3 feet before losing its sensitivity, which means that we know it stretches longer than that. With saying that, I want you to understand how powerful your heart is. All of us is using the magnetic field, the space, the air that is all in between us. It's not empty, but we believe it to be empty, which is actually not. So have you ever been close to someone at some point and you start to feel maybe differently, but you think it's you, but it's actually the person that you are close to? Or have you walked into a room and felt like the energy in the room is not really right? It doesn't really, something is telling you that you shouldn't be there. We are all energetic beings, so we feel a lot of things energetically, but we haven't been taught it, so we don't really understand it. There is a magnetic field that we use every day, and we actually use it every day with our phones and with our computers to connect to Wi-Fi, for example. We don't see the connection of the Wi-Fi, but we just know it works. It's there. Just as you don't know how everything works in every aspect, which is okay because I have no idea how certain things technologically works. I just know that I can connect to Wi-Fi and that's it. But I do know that 5G and all of these things actually affect me. Radiation, EMF, which I think I've spoken about before, that we all should protect ourselves from. Anyways, I just want you to know that the magnetic field is something that we all as individuals are feeding into every day as energetical beings. Just as your phone is feeding into this and all other electronics, we are doing the same. So if another person is suffering, this becomes your suffering as well. We are all interconnected by the magnetic field. These facts are so basic and fundamental that we can't deny them. It's quantum science, and it has been proven scientifically. We are all connected via the akashic fields and waves. The heart is the unity of the consciousness. We should all be guided by the heart. So the question is, what are you feeding the field on a daily basis? I want to end this episode with a few intellectual nourishments that hopefully will expand your mind in more ways than one. If you could imagine and envision a new earth, how would it be? What would it look like? I would like to share mine with all of you. It's a world where love is the religion we all practice. A place with no borders, where earth belongs to humanity and all earthlings inhabiting this earth. Where every experience on this earth would be for everyone on this earth to experience, not only for a chosen few because they have the financial bank account to do so. Where the majority of the population doesn't chase money to be able to pay for what is rightfully ours. It's human rights to have food and air and water and shelter. These things are so basic, and it's like crazy that we have to pay for them. Where we don't have no weapons and no wars and no hate or violence and no unhealed people walking around hurting each other. Where we all understand how connected we all are. Where there is no chosen few capitalizing off the population. Where we live on the resources that this earth has and are in coherence with her and one another. Where we respect and treat all life with love. Where no rules or laws are needed because it won't even be necessary, as love and kindness is all that we know and practice. Where we all would act righteous and treat each other as our neighbors and ourselves truly. Where each soul and individual can become and reach the fullest potential within them. Where everyone has the freedom to grow and expand their mind without the restriction that money can cause. Where everyone can wake up each day and do exactly what they feel and want to do, every day that day. Where everyone can explore ourselves in this life and to figure out who we are at all different phases of life. Where everyone can explore the whole earth and the whole planet and all these beautiful paradise places and locations. And more importantly, where we could all have incredible unconditional self-love. Because what reflects on the inside also reflects our outside. We are spiritual beings, connected to everything around us. The moon, the sun, the elements of this earth, this planet and the universe. We are so much more than we believe we are. I want us all to understand who we truly are so we can all live to our full potentials. Where we are so tapped into all the abilities that we all possess. So please, let's go on a mission and create a new world together. And this is where it starts, within our minds and hearts. Dare to dream big and dare to create what you feel you deserve and what we deserve as a whole. Create from a place of love and empathy. So to all my sisters and brothers out there, with love and light, I see you and I feel you. Namaste.